Alright, everybody. This is it. This is the one. I've been promising to do a games room tour for at least 6 months. I think every single pickups video I've done for quite a while, I've said at the end, I'm definitely going to do the room tour. I just never got around to doing it, partly because it keeps, these rooms, the rooms are never finished, are they? You're always fettling stuff, and I always think, I'm just going to sort that corner out, and then I'll do the video. But here we're here. This is it. But first, right, this is a bit of a two-in-one bumper video, right? Because first, I want to tell you the origin of the Foxbox name, right? Because a few people have asked about this. A few people have assumed just my second name is Fox, which it's not. A few people have assumed it's because I'm a Leicester fan, which I'm not. I'm really not. Not ever. It's a story that goes back quite a long way. It involves a real fox, and it way predates, the gaming stuff that I'm doing at the minute. I will say now, it's not a pleasant story. It doesn't end well for the fox. It doesn't begin well for the fox. Let's be honest. As soon as the fox in the story appears, you think that's bad news for the fox. So you don't like unpleasant stories, fast forward to the bit where you look around the garage. Right, now they've gone. Right. First thing I should say, when I do this room tour, it'll become pretty obvious that I'm a man of many, many, many hobbies. Right, I've got all sorts of stuff going on, and this is a bit of a museum to just, stuff I was into once. Some of it I still am, some of it I'm not. But the tale of the Foxbox goes back to about, I was trying to work it out earlier, I'm going to say 2008, 2009, something like that. And I was living in Birmingham at the time, and one of the hobbies that I was into, one of the kind of interests I had was cocktail making. I was doing all sorts of bits at home, and we had like a 2-bed flat, and in the spare room it was like half office space and half of it was like my bar, and I had like glass shelves everywhere, every spirit imaginable, loads of different types of stuff. I still have some of it left. The relics of the bar is just above me, you'll see it. I still got some of the cocktail stuff. I've still got my Boston shaker and my Manhattan shaker with me. I still do the cocktails slightly less. There's quite a lot of vodka from a certain part of the world has gone down the drain recently, for obvious reasons. So it's looking a tad light at the moment. But yeah, I was into cocktail making, and people used to come around and we did cocktail nights and all this type of stuff. And we didn't have a name for the thing. People were just going, let's go around Ben's house. And we were joking. I said, Ben's bar, the bar in Ben's house, right? And I had at the time as a gift, and I've still got, I think I probably have some more of these, but I've still got 2 of them. Some Ben's bar mats. Right, welcome to Ben's bar. Right. Ben's bar stuck around for a while, but we thought we need a proper name. We need a name for this pub that actually, I say pub, a name for the corner of my room that we can say, right, let's go around to there. Anywho, our flat was like a self-contained ground floor flat, so the front door opened directly outside onto like a communal footpath. There wasn't like an internal hallway or anything like that. But one day I come home from work, and there's a dead fox. I told you it didn't start well for the fox. There is a dead fox lying across my doorstep. So obviously I think, do I owe money to the mafia? Have I been eBaying drunk? But it becomes apparent that what's happened is that the fox, I'm going to use my little orange friend here to demonstrate this, right? The fox had got its head stuck between a downpipe and a wall, and if you think of a fox's head, it's quite sort of triangular, so it had sort of forced its way through and then couldn't get its head back, right? And it died, right? What a sad and pointless end to the fox. But it's the beginning of what turned out to be a ridiculous story, because I phoned up our landlords and said, yo, I've got a fox. It's not mine, do you want it? They said, absolutely not. We just come round and mow the grass. Dead foxes, council business, right? So I phoned up the council and I say, yo, got this fox, do you want it? Dead. It's all yours, free. They say, nope, private land, we can't touch that. You're going to have to get rid of it yourself or wait for it to become a public health hazard. And I can't get rid of this thing myself. It's a brand new flat, right? So I don't have tools. I don't need tools. I got like maybe a screwdriver for putting pictures on the wall, but I don't have tools, nor the mental capacity to saw a dead fox's head off so I can move it. I'm not allowed to touch the downpipe because it's not my building. So this fox just sits there, right? And every day I phone up the council, who ironically I actually work for Birmingham City Council at this point, a long time ago. Different bit of the council, different building, so I couldn't go around and, sort it out properly. But every day I was on the blower to them going, right, this fox, it's gone hard now. Is it a public health hazard yet? Do you want it yet? Nope. Day after day after day. And like I say, I'm making cocktails at this point. You don't do that in the winter. This is the height of summer. This thing is nasty. And it is decomposing on my frigging doormat. I'm having to step over it every time I come in and go. There's flies, and I'm phoning the council every day and I'm going, this has got flies coming out of its eye sockets now. Do you want it yet? And then eventually, maybe 4 or 5 days in, it goes, the council must have given up and they've come round. But this plays out over the course of a week in the office. I'm there on the phone explaining to people. Obviously, someone different answers the phone every time. Oh, I've got this dead fox, And people sitting around me just think it's hilarious, because it would be if you're not me in this story. So this goes on, and then people are winding me up for a while about foxes and all this, that, and the other, and it just becomes a thing, as these things do. So anyway, because this happens at the same time as I'm coming up with a name for the bar, we call it the Fox Box. And it's kind of stuck ever since. The first Fox Box sign I have here, a bit of Fox Box heritage for you. This is, again, this was bought for me as a present at the time. The Fox Box, everybody's favourite place. Proof that money can buy happiness, the best whiskies in town. So that is the original Fox Box pub sign that was hanging at home. And it's just escalated, really. The Fox Box thing has stuck. I've got multiple Fox things you can see. I've always got that somewhere in my videos, that Fox Box street sign thing. And, when I got the idea, when I got the idea for doing this channel, when Liam says to me, Ben, do a channel, I originally called it Live from the Fox Box, because it is the Fox Box. I think I've changed it to Fox Box Gaming now to make it a bit more obvious what it is all about. But that is the origin of the name. It is not because I'm a Leicester fan. It is not my name. It is in remembrance of a fox who lived a short, pointless life and then had an even longer, pointless, smelly, fly-ridden death. Anyway, games tour. Right, I'm going to flick to the front camera, put my Fox Box signs back up, and show you all this stuff. Boop. Okay, so I'll do a little 360 first. So this is obviously my garage. It's not a spare room like most of you all have. So I've got the gaming area here. Got the garage bit there. I've got my bike there. I've got round here a drum kit and some stuff. Got a little collection of boxes of things. All sorts of stuff on here. I've got my bar up there. Some other stuff. I'll talk you through this train set. I've got some explaining to do with this. It is gaming related, but not yet. Right. So that is the Fox Box. I'm gonna zoom in and take you around and show you some stuff. Right. I won't dwell on the bike, but I've got that there, Triumph, and behind it I've got a wall of mostly signed racing memorabilia. Not sure if any of you guys are into motorbike racing, but I've got a Norihaga signed photo, Randy Mamola, a couple of James Toseland things on there, Chris Walker, and some sadly unsigned Valentino Rossi stuff. I've got telescope there. That's one of the hobbies. In fact, I'm going to do a hobby count as I go around. So that's hobby number 1, is the telescope. That is a Skywatcher telescope that I use in the winter quite a bit. So that's hobby the 1. Hobby the 2 is the motorbike. Hobby the 3 is the bow in the background. I have in the past done quite a bit of archery. That is a custom made longbow that I had made a few years ago. So that is hobby number 3. Now this piece of wood here is going to become hobby number 4. That is the base for what is going to be my Sabutio table when I build it. I'm just waiting for the weather to warm up. So that is the garage corner. This corner over here is just other generic stuff. So the drum kit. I played the drums all through my teens. I've had various kits throughout the years. This is just quite a compact digital kit that I've got out here, which fits quite nicely into the space. I don't play a huge amount these days, but it's nice to know it's there. I got a strange combination of Forest and Derby County things on here, which needs some explaining. I am a Nottingham Forest fan. I've got our hideous and yet somehow very, very lucky orange and yellow away shirt going on up here, and a thing of the City ground. The Derby County thing, I met Harry Redknapp a few years ago, which, regardless of what you think of him, he is quite an entertaining geezer. I went to an evening with him that just happened to be at Derby, hence the unfortunate ram in the background. But that's my little forest shrine. I'm going to call that hobby numbers 4 for the drum kit, 5 for them. Hobby 6 is running. I do quite a bit of 10k half marathon type stuff. A little collection of medals you get given at the end of the stuff that I've done. I do quite a lot of hill walking as well. I've got a poster here of the 214 Wainwrights in the Lake District. They kind of tick off when you've climbed them all, which I'm up to about 60 odd now, I think. So I reckon that's hobby 6 and 7, if I'm counting right. This is just some generic stuff, a load of beer mats that I did collect before I turned this into a gaming room. When it was just a bar, I had loads of beer mats everywhere. I've had to cut down on some of them now. I've got a little Jim Beam sign up there. Load of Star Wars Lego, which I'll show you in the cabinet in a minute. Some stickers on there and some maps from when I took my last motorbike down to Switzerland a couple of years ago before the pandemic, and got some flags from all the countries I covered on the way. Right, I'm going to do the bar bit now. I'll come on to the games last. I know that's what you're all here for, really. This is the remnants of the bar. I say there's not a huge amount going on at the moment. There's various spirits and stuff up there. In fact, I will say this is the overflow. The good stuff's all in a proper cabinet in the house. These beers are a set of beers from the Da Vincio Brewery in Derby. I did a day there with a mate of mine, Dan, who may or may not be watching this. We did a sort of a day with a brewer type thing, where we basically paid them. Well, it was a present for him. He paid them for us to work there for a day, which I'm not quite sure how that works, but that's us there. Got a little Witten Albion thing in there. I live Northwich, and have them as my adopted local team when Forest are away. Got another bow up there. I've lost track of the hobby count, actually. I think the bar was 8, I think. And then over here, right, haters are going to hate, but this is a little project I've done today. I've got the Evercade shelf. So I have got the VS at last now. I'll pick that up in the week. I've got the purple limited edition chap and a bog standard one. So I'm still arranging all of that. Up here, I've got some other board games and stuff. So I've got the Sabutio, a few little bits of Magic the Gathering. I'm not going to class that as a hobby. I think I've decided it ain't for me really, but I've given it a go. Got my Orlog game. Obviously a big Assassin's Creed fan, so happy with that. Nottingham Forest board game. I might do a little video on that at some point because it's from like the late 70s, I think. It's old. I might do a good little retro board game thing. Hobby number 9 a few years ago was winemaking. So I've got some homemade wines that were vile, and I feel like if I just leave them there festering as opposed to maturing, they might one day be worth something. Up here I've got the PS4 rigged up to what is really now the sports telly. Got a bit of football on there. We're currently seeing Spurs give Newcastle a paddling. Hopefully I don't get sued by Sky for showing you that. Right, before we get onto the games, I want to explain the train set. Right, the train set is going to be hobby number 10, I think. And this is quite a new thing that I've been working on this year. And when I was a kid, my mum and dad had a train set, and I always wanted one at some point. I just didn't really have space for one, so I've had this board cut that just about fits in this space. Now I want to keep this video game related, and if any of you have kind of paid any attention to my videos before, you'll know that Assassin's Creed is what I'm all about. And a game that I originally hated but is now one of my favourite Assassin's Creed games is Syndicate, which is all set in Victorian London, and it's very heavily steam train focused. Obviously the den is on the hideout, should I say, is on a steam train. So this is going to be, when it's finished, an Assassin's Creed Syndicate themed model railway. It's a tad tricky to do because in true Assassin's Creed fashion, it's historically inaccurate to the point where all the trains that appear in it aren't from the right time period. All of the carriages that are in it are from a different time period to the actual trains. So it's a bit of a mishmash of what I'm going to have to buy, and the layout of this still needs a lot of work. But the idea is that I'll buy unpainted people that I can paint them in red and green to be the blighters and the rooks, and then I can create scenes from the game around here. Now the first bit that I'm working on with this is here. Now there is a bit in the game where there is a raised bit that sits in front of some factories, and underneath it there is the blighters, the baddie gang keep their carriages there, and you have to try and infiltrate it and steal one of the carriages. It's like one of the side missions, and then there's stuff to do up on the top as well. So that's the first scene from the game. If you know the game well, you'll probably know what I'm referring to. If you don't, then I can't really help you. But yeah, there's a lot to do on this. This is going to be a project over quite a long time, I think. But this will be Assassin's Creed themed model railway, and then we'll spin it round and look at the good stuff, which is the games. So this is what I've got behind me. Whilst I'm doing my videos, I'll just go through it. So you probably worked this out from what's in the background for me. So I've got PS3 rigged up. That was a recent gift from my mate Stevo. That is a Dreamcast that I bought from Tootie at Doncaster. Some Mega Drive 2 that I bought on a complete whim before Christmas. This is the Atari that eventually did work. Got River Raid happening on it at the moment. My earlier videos show me with a big long lot of Ataris that never work, but this is the 7800 that does work. Consoles wise, I've got a Nintendo Wii, that was a gift from the Retro Ram. I've got the Raspberry Pi modded Atari Woody, which is currently running Recall Box. If you didn't see it, I did do a video about 2-3 videos ago explaining that mod. And then an N64. And then just up here, got these look like here mini shelves that I'm constantly swapping around what's on these, but I think they look quite good for displaying some controllers. And then up here we've got the 7800 came boxed, and the Master System came boxed, so I've got those up there. Other console I've got is the Switch, that's in the house. I've got a Series X inside as well. But this is my little collection of Fox things, really. I've got the Star Fox R-Wing from Starlink, I think it is. I still haven't played the game. Well, actually, I've got the disc that came, the download code that came with the game. I've only just picked up my Switch this week, so I'm going to give it a go. But I've got a Star Fox Amiibo. Then a couple of other little foxes. This was a gift from my niece last Christmas.
And then this is a Nottingham Forest fan Fox that I got from his sister at Christmas. And then I've absolutely no idea what that is because I've never played Fortnite, but Liam was getting on to me saying, there's another Fox you haven't got. So now I do. I've got President Loki pop. That's the only pop that I've got. And I only bought that because I've got a cat called Loki. And then I bought that Mario thing this week to celebrate getting the Switch. That is my entire Japanese import collection. I paid about 20 odd quid for that in the middle of a pickups challenge, thinking I'd done good, and then I got home and realised you could buy it for £1 on the internet. So I don't suppose I will get many more of them. But that is the Fox collection behind me, and then down into the cabinet. Right, running across the top at the very back is the full set of Assassin's Creed games. Although actually there is still Chronicles that I need to get. I'm waiting to see it at a decent price for the Vita, really. So I've got the full set of Assassin's Creed games. They should be in order. Apart from the little handheld ones at the end. I've got a little collection of handheld consoles that I've got there. I've got the DS, PSP, PS Vita, the SP. Now, very little of the stuff in this collection is my original stuff. Particularly the older stuff is my original stuff. But that is my original SP from when it came out. And a lot of the Game Boy Advance games that I've got are original as well. A couple of little mini consoles. Got the handheld Atari and the little Sega Mega Drive Mini. Got a non-functioning PlayStation at the moment. That's the only thing out here that doesn't work now. Down here, I've got the library. I've got the Essential Guide to Assassin's Creed, obviously, and then various Star Wars and gaming things. And I've been gradually picking up the retro gamer kind of bookazines, mag books, whatever you want to call them. So I've got a little bit of a reading library going. Then these bottom two shelves is, I'm going to open this cupboard so you can see it, the Star Wars Lego collection. Now some of you have already seen this. This was my Christmas project. The AT-AT, well, this is a Attack on Hoth scene that I've done, and I've got the little Empire Strikes Back Atari game in the background as well. So I've got, there's two Hoth kits kind of joined together there, and obviously the AT-AT. And then I've got X-Wing and a TIE Fighter and Slave One and all sorts of little Mandalorian things. I bought Christmas, and then carrying on the Lego Star Wars over here, I've got the AT-AT and the Emperor's Shuttle. And the obvious one that I'm missing is the Millennium Falcon, which I will do. I only build Lego over Christmas holiday. It's a rule I have to stick to, otherwise it'll get out of hand. I have no idea where the Falcon's going, but it's going to get bought this Christmas. Down here, I've got some of the just loose carts in a thing. It's my little N64 collection. And I got some Mega Drive, some Master System Game Boy games down there. That Super Mario Land 2 is probably the oldest thing that's here that I've owned from the beginning. Well, the family had it, should I say, but that's an original thing. I did have the original Game Boy. It's just got lost over the years. It's definitely in a cupboard in a loft. I'll be happy when I find it. But that's that. I'll leave the games for a minute. Over here is the kind of 70s collection. I did have the Intellivision on, but this telly buggers up my camera. But I've got the Binatone colour TV and the Intellivision all working, and then the Philips Discoverer TV, which was pretty much the first thing I bought when I started doing this. My very first video, I think, was about this telly. I've got a little dartboard up here. Oh, another Fox thing. For Fox's sake. It's Valentino Rossi stuff. Got more Assassin's Creed things. And then the pride or shame, whichever way you look at it, of the collection is the games collection. Now this little bit down here is all the space I've got for games. I know some of you guys have got walls and walls of it, but I'm trying to get myself into a situation where I've got like a top, depending on how much I use the console, like a top 5 or a top 10 games. I'm trying not to just have filler, because I've got plenty of PS2 stuff in there and various other bits, but I've got a bit of a PlayStation 1 collection on the go. Desperately need some more Dreamcast games. Got Soul Calibur, Ready to Rumble, and Choo Choo Rocket. I did have a really dodgy version of Sonic, but I managed to offload it. The DS collection is down to just those now, or those plus the 2 Assassin's Creed ones. I really hate the DS. I'm not gonna lie. I only bought it because I realised there was 2 Assassin's Creed games that I hadn't played, and I've bought a lot of games in pickups videos that I've shown that have turned out to be absolute toss that I've since offloaded. But I quite like the Lego games, quite work on it, and Super Mario Brothers. Just is what it is. Got a little fledgling collection of Switch games there, which I only actually bought yesterday as I'm filming this. Down here I've got the Intellivision Collection, which is going quite well. Got a few boxed Atari games, a few Sega Mega Drive games now. Well, a Master System game and a couple of Mega Drive games. And then some just loose Atari carts. Got a Wii collection, some 360 stuff. PSP, some Vita, and then PS3, PS2, PS4. The PS2 is just there. It's not plugged in at the minute yet. Got a little Mario Kart remote control Yoshi. And then this thing here, I'm going to do a little video on this because I think this is one of the most underrated bits of kit. I bought this knowing that the reviews of it were terrible, and it's been brilliant fun. That's the Lenovo Jedi Challenge. My next video is going to be a little... Well, it's hard to do a demo of it because it's a virtual reality thing, but it's awesome. So that, I was going to say in a nutshell, it wasn't much of a nutshell, is the Fox box.
Okay, so hopefully that was everything that you all dreamed it would be. It's a bit of a different setup out here. Obviously, I'm limited with the game collection. The bookcase is full of games I haven't got, but it does give a bit of focus to what I'm doing. I'm trying to just buy stuff that I will pick up and play, as opposed to just buying stuff to put on a shelf. So the biggest problem I've got out here is the stool. There's not really any seat. There's no opportunity really to put seating out here. So I'm trying to limit the games that I've got to stuff I can just play. If I'm just coming out here to do something, I'll just play that for 10 minutes on the way in. I'm trying to sort of focus on arcade port sports games. In fact, the one that I play the most is the one that I've got on the telly at the minute, which is River Raid on the Atari. Because it's great, it doesn't take 10 minutes to boot up. I've been playing, when I'm setting up the video, I put PlayStation 4 on to have a quick go on Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and because I'm used to the Series X, like the loading times of it. If I'm just, it took me about 15 minutes to get into the frigging game. Like, I don't have that time, when I'm just out here, which is why I like the Atari. You just aren't, and the same for the Intellivision, you just press a button and you're straight to it. I'm not going to be out here playing, games for hours and hours and hours. But, I'll flash up a little, if I can be bothered to do it, a little there, of my first video. I didn't really know what I was doing with this channel. I still don't really. I'm just doing bits. But, this has been a project over the last nearly 12 months, and I think it's 9 months I've been doing this. It started off with just this cabinet behind me with that on it, and the Atari that didn't work. And then bit by bit, I've just gone, each weekend I've kind of gone, I'm just going to buy another shelf now. I'm just going to buy that extra bit. There's some extra LED lights I've found that can do it. But I'm pretty chuffed with the setup now. I can't really expand it any further. I just have to keep shifting stuff around a little bit. And then I've got the train set here. It's going to keep me amused for a while. So, hopefully you enjoyed that. I will put out another video soon about that Star Wars thing, because I think it's great. And I haven't seen it before. I don't know how well known what it is. So there's a spoiler for the next one. But until then, thanks for watching.